You're listening to Give Zero, where everything matters but your feelings.
Howdy ho, friends and neighbors. It is Joey Bruno here with you on Give Zero. Today's topic is Why Libtards Fail, a live episode. Stay tuned, it'll be fun.
Now your host who gives absolutely zero fucks, Joey Bruno!
Thank you, Miss Banana Fofana, for the nice introduction into my artificially pre-recorded, pre-mixed audience. Actually, it's not. Since we're on video, I can do this. I was kindly enough to be given some Star Trek characters, and they're here. And that's my actual audience here. There's another one down here, a little fish-looking guy or something. So there's that Klingon bad guy. I just broke him off his stand. And Deanna Troi, she's the hi-ho of the high seas in space. So who has she not slept with on Star Trek? I don't know. The captain and Data, and God love them, they were both gay, so it doesn't matter. It wasn't going to happen. So anyway, how are you guys? I hope y'all are wonderful and outstanding and lovely, and haven't spoken to you in about a week. And of course, last week's episode was weird because weather was acting a fool, and we had to change a couple of things around with our scheduling because of that. Well, tornadoes is coming back to us here in Bama country tomorrow, actually. So we're going to try to do, and actually I'll record another one that's not video here for y'all. So we got something in the can that we can have setting out, because the weather's going to be not our friend down here in Bama country over the next 24 hours or so. Pray, hopefully, that it's not going to be that big of a deal. But, and we have weathercasters that do all kind of stuff, and they do all this magical hell of a job. You can actually, make $150K a year and be wrong. So it's a hell of a deal. But, they try to figure it out and do it. And, if they make a boo-boo and make a mistake, well, sometimes they get it wrong. So, but if you go by the old school way of, I can feel it in my bones. It's just something feels weird about the air. It feels chewy. It's soupy. It's all these southern things that people say, and it feels that way today. That's probably the instability in the atmosphere. And I'm kind of weather queer. I don't mind telling you, it's an interesting subject. And over there on the wall over there, sorry, I'm bumping everything. I'm not used to pointing and showing stuff because I'm not used to being on video. I've got a barometer and a thermometer and all this kind of stuff, and I'm just fascinated with weather because it's interesting. So there it is. But let's get our little show started. Couple of housekeeping things before we get going, but let's do our drink. And so I know it's night time, and I know that a lot of y'all are probably enjoying finishing up your supper or dinner, depending on what you call it, in your part of the world. But we finished dinner a little while ago, and I'm having after dinner coffee. If you got your hot toddy with you, got your Jack and Coke, got your cold beer, got your do whatever, got your, like I said, if you're on the back deck and you're rolling up something special, you go right ahead and you do you. So there you have it. So we're going to get things started as soon as I have coffee. My Coda Vets mug, we'll talk about that after a while too. But right now, let us all drink together, shall we? Here we go. Oh, that's good coffee. Mrs. JB changed up the coffee in the machine, and that's pretty good. It's like a breakfast. It's like a breakfast blend. It's very light and almost has a little woodsy backbite. It's really good. It's very tasty. It's good stuff. The Coda Vets mug, as I remind you, I'm a big fan of Coda Vets, what they do out there in their world, taking care of veterans. Y'all go help them out. CodaVets.com. Make a donation. If you want to come to us and do something with the show, there's a couple of things I want to go over with the show real quick, since I can stretch this out a little bit since it's video. Let me make sure I get to the right spot here because I'm pulling stuff up. we have memberships and stuff. If you want to donate to the show and help out with the show, drop a little coin in the kitty, help us keep the lights turned on and pay all the fees on the broadcasting and everything stuff. That's awesome. But if you go to our buymeacoffee.com/gives zero, you can be, you can click on a few things. You can click on support, which, you can type in the number of coffees you want. Buy me a coffee. They're $5 a piece. Buy a coffee. It comes, it goes in the kitty. But also, if you do memberships, there's a $5 a month, a $10 a month, a $25 a month membership that we have. It's got some. It tells you what all is available in the membership and some cool stuff. Like we'll start doing some of these shows in private where you can call in and do some stuff like that. That's for the higher tier. But on any tier, if you join, your first month's membership dues go straight to Code of Vets, and we're proud to do it. We're glad to do it. So if you want to do a twofer, help out Give Zero. We're going to forward that over to those guys anyway. That's what we Patriots do. We help out each other. Gretchen Smith runs a fine organization over there at Code of Vets. 2% operating cost. That's unheard of, and I love what they're doing for veterans. I would tell you more about it. Just codeofvets.com. You can read all about it over there, what they're doing. So there's that. Also, I wanted to tell you about a nice thing that I got on Twitter. We had several. You guys constantly are always messaging me, sending nice things. Let me get back over to it. I'm of course on the wrong bloody thing because I get 100 of these things a day, which is awesome. Y'all please write me. I never back away from that. I'm always so thrilled to have you guys and us communicate, and you guys make me laugh, and y'all are so wonderful. But I've got to roll back around to yesterday's messages. I'll find it here in a second. If you're listening to it just in audio only, I certainly apologize for the delay. I know it's an annoyance when I'm doing that, and I probably should have had this up, but this is worth. I'm getting to it. So this is just today's. My gosh, there's 150 of these things. I'm getting there. Oh, Laura Lee Bordas. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. So Laura, if I got it wrong, don't kill me. This is on Twitter. She goes by Trump Country USA. A post we did or something, she took it, spun it around, blasted it back out to the world, and was nice enough to say this little goodie about Give Zero and what we're doing. She says, guys, this is a fast-growing phenomenon. Great podcast. Try it just once and you'll be hooked like I am. We need more honest patriots like this speaking out. That is the sweetest thing. And y'all have done a lot of things like this. Have shared the show and had nice things to say. I cannot begin to tell you how humbling that is to a guy like me, a guy with a microphone. I'm sorry, there's a cat in here ruining my life. How humbling that is for someone to take their time out of their life and to say something that nice about what you're doing, and that you get up and you do the microphone thing and everything else. And y'all know I'm not a professional broadcaster. Clearly, I am not. But it is overwhelming, that kind of kindness. And so thank you. Thank you so very, very much. I'll make sure that you get a free membership or something for just being awesome. And so thank you. So anyway, this episode won't take but a hot minute to do because I didn't want to get long into it because it's not a news type item you would pull up or work with the news or something like that. I'm going to pull my chair up. It is literally where we can sit and we can talk, which are, of course, my favorite kind of episodes. That's so much nicer. We can just sit and have coffee together, and we can just visit. I want to talk about why liberalism fails. And I wish I'd structured this a little bit nicer. Maybe I'll cut up and just do this small portion of it that we can share with people. Because I know there's a lot of college students out there, a lot of people in high school, a lot of young adults. And they are being programmed and they are being fed every crapola thing about, that you can imagine. And they're the future of this country. That generation is. Just like at one time we were the future of this country now. And really, I want to direct this episode and this little visiting time to them because they matter. I don't agree with their politics. I don't agree with their thinking. I don't agree with a lot of things. I know that a lot of us out there don't. Totally get that. And for understandable reasons, I get that. But what I want them to think about is this, because we can go on with what the alphabet soup news says all the time and all the water cooler talking points. And the millions of other things that we spin around on Spin Cycle with every day. As to why, libtards, because libs are so freaking stupid. They sit there and they don't understand nothing about abortion and they don't understand nothing about no guns. They don't understand nothing about nothing because they're dumbasses. No, they're not. They're not dumb. They're not dumb. Misguided, and maybe haven't given a lot of things the time of day and the thought they should have. Peer pressure is a massive thing, and hearing something repetitive. I'm married, been married forever. Once you're beat on long enough, you'll comply. Trust me, I know. Yeah. So, my wife hears this episode. I'm a dead man. But they're not dumb. They're not dumb. But they've been brought up into a dumb system and a dumb world and a dumb set of programming. And I could pick a thousand different topics to spin this on. But I don't want to. I want to keep it very simple. The reason that liberalism has such a hard time working is because it continually has to convince itself that somehow it's a good idea. And by that, I'll give an example, even though I really don't want to give an example, but I will. Let's talk about the number of sexes that there are. There are two. And I say that clearly with conviction. And I say that without any hesitation because gravity is a thing. And so if I jump off the top of the house, it's probably not going to be good for my old body. Cause fact. But liberalism will tell you that there's more than two. No. But for them to have social argument, and I swear to God, even college classes and stuff, that means you got to make it up as you go. You've got to pretend like, and you've got to justify. A human mind is an amazing piece of machinery, and it does a self check continually, and so it has to balance its books constantly. Even at some point, it manifests things that aren't. You can look at clouds all day long and see faces and dragons, and there's no faces and dragons up there. There's just not. So the powers that be will then turn and twist and say, well, if someone doesn't understand that, your gender is not the same thing as sex, because there's more than two genders. So their argument shifts and it drops. Okay, sure, biologically there are two sexes, but there's more than two genders. No, no, it's not. And then here comes, you're a hate monger, you're a bastard, you're a son of a bitch, you're everything in the world because you don't believe this dragon that I see in the clouds. Um, yeah, there's no way to see that dragon in that cloud because you see it, but it's not there. This is the world that they are in. This is the world that if a child is first grade or kindergarten or is college level or junior high school student or whatever, and they say what I just said with conviction because gravity. There are only two sexes. There are people that have lost jobs over saying that fact. That's the world in which we live. Actually, that's the world that liberalism has created because they have built an incubation system to protect and to project all the crazy that is their crazy. And there's 1,000 different examples. Now, let me tell you why ultimately that fails. And I don't mean fails at a social level because, it's just going to fail because, that's kind of the. No, I mean fails. Like structurally collapses. Yeah. Catastrophic failure. It will fail because it's not germane. It's not natural. It's not organic. It's not an outgrowth of something that is original in thought, nor is a truism in what is the human condition. Nothing they have. Killing babies in the womb, letting and luring people across a border for political stuff and shrouding that in anything when men, women, and children's lives are in danger because of it. No. Selling uraniums to the Russian? No. Burisma? No. All this stuff? No. How you deal and tally with elections and everything to cheat and ballots and make phone calls or whatever? No. And the reason it will fail ultimately is because the idea of liberty and freedom and the right to speak and the right to protect yourself and be armed and the right for a people to govern themselves is a natural, true, simplistic, because it's very simple, simple, organic thing. Excuse me. It doesn't need an incubator to keep that ideal alive. In the heart of man, in the heart of people, of mankind, there is the want for liberty. It's not an American concept. America's the one that put it on the map. America's the one that built a nation around that ideal. Because having kings and socialist societies have been around since the creation of mankind, and they've always failed. They've always ultimately failed. The idea to be able to speak freely what's on your mind without being edited and without being told what to say, i.e., well, you mean there's more than two sexes? You're fired. Or there's not more than, whatever the hell the libtard stuff is, whatever. That's not even normal. Your system as a physical creature in this three-dimensional plane rejects the idea of that because it's not in any way normal. It's not realistic at all. And if you wiped out every patriot in this country, you took every gun, you hung them up. People that pray, you shoot them. People that own a gun, you take them and you shoot them. You take out anybody that sits there and believed in the original Constitution, you shoot their ass. You kill me, you kill you, you kill everybody, and all you have left is libtard land. Let's say you did that. Somewhere in another country will be a young man or woman who will want liberty and who will want freedom and to be able to speak and to protect themselves and to be able to go about their business and live their lives the way they want to. And that person will be an American. I can't go over this enough. America is not borders. They always talk about doctors without borders, countries without borders. America really has no borders. Not when it comes to Americans, not when it comes to the American spirit, not when it comes to the real spirit of what humankind is. And that is the most American thing that there is. Because our Constitution recognizes that. That Constitution sets it up, and that Constitution does one and only one thing. Constitution doesn't say that you're going to make it. Constitution doesn't say that, hey, you live in America, you're going to be okay. You're owed everything. Everything's fantastic. No, the Constitution guarantees you the right to bust your butt, either successfully or by failure. And it guarantees the government's not going to get in your way of doing it. The Constitution says the government stays out of your world because government is a cancer. And Big Brother is a cancer. Petting on you and giving you everything and providing for you in from cradle to grave is a cancer to the spirit of humanity. Liberals can sing Kumbaya and we are the world and we're all one and we're all this, and that's the most racist, terrible, cutthroat bunch of baby-killing weirdos I've ever seen in my life that make up everything as they go. And it can't survive ultimately because it doesn't have anything to do with being a human being. You take a newborn baby and all it wants to do on pure autopilot is stay alive. It wants to cry it's not calling you, it doesn't know you. It is an outcry because I'm cold and I'm wet and I'm hungry. I need my basic needs. I've got to do something. That, my friend, is the human condition. And that, my friend, is not served in any way by liberalism. It is not. We can't feed and take care and pet on the downtrodden if we can't go out there and work 9 to 5 and have the American spirit. The old line, Margaret Thatcher's, we all know it, socialism is great till you run out of somebody else's money. That's the truth. What makes us great is that we are in tune with the most basic of human wants and needs. And one of those needs is to thrive, to make it, to make our mark, to be something more than the sum of our parts. Liberalism doesn't do that. It wants to give out participation trophies. Because any successful person will tell you that a strong part of what got them where they are was failure. And liberalism is scared to death to embrace failure. Everybody's just got to be the same. Everybody's just got to have the same thing. Everything's got to be totally even and perfect. No, the only thing even is your shot. A lot of social justice warriors don't want equality. They want superiority. And let me tell you something about being just a regular Joe. It's pretty boring. Your privilege cards don't get you jack squat. They just don't. That's a lie perpetrated by those who want to take from those that don't get jack squat. And you need to keep that in mind. You need to keep that in mind because this is a great country and this is a great land. And it's rare and it's one of a kind, and you don't see them too often. You don't see them every day. You can't buy and build another America. She is what she is. And at some point, we've got to reach out to people and get them to understand what it really means to be a patriot. And that liberalism will fail because we've got to stay in touch with the small, simple part of us that's a human. They scream it every time you turn around, but they've lost touch with what that little cold, wet baby feels. I need to address this, and I need to thrive. Share that with some of your lib friends. And think on that. In the meantime, let's dodge some tornadoes. Let's get back to social media. We're winning, by the way. And let's keep the truth alive. This has kind of been fun. Thanks for putting up with me and my crazy. And know that I love you guys. I look forward to hearing from you again. Oh, we've got a store online. www.givezero.com, the main website. They've added a store for us. So now we can get coffee cups and t-shirts and fun stuff and things like that. So go and check it out if you get a chance. So anyway, I love you guys. This is Joey Bruno for Give Zero. I hope you've enjoyed this. I certainly have. And y'all be praying for me tomorrow too in case the tornadoes get a little rowdy. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I love you guys, and I'll see you soon. And take care. I love you. Have a good one, Patriots.